And again, some people are on keto and they lose weight, which is, their main purpose. And some people feel better. And that's okay for that group of people, because essentially what I have found is that some people do perform better on a lower carb, higher fat diet, and some people perform on the opposite. And you either fit one of those or the other, So keto can essentially work for some people, but is it sustainable for your whole life? No, it's not. I mean, at some point, you are going to need to draw stuff back in, and it's not bad foods. It's not finally being able to have a burger with fries. It is what you're saying, like a banana or whatever. And then the other thing that I feel like it does too is it makes you create this bad relationship with normal food groups like rice or, whole grain pasta or fruit, for instance. And that's not good, because subconsciously those thoughts pass even after keto, and you're afraid to eat rice. I've had people come to me and they're like, I cannot eat a half a cup of rice per day. And it's like, yes, you can, yes, you can. So that's really hard. When I did keto, I think looking back on it, and I did the strips and all the things, this is before I was coaching nutrition. So I needed to lose weight. And I did. I lost like 35 pounds on keto, and it worked while I did it. But essentially what I did is I removed all the bad food groups. I didn't eat rice. I didn't eat bread, but I also ate really well when I did keto. I had my salads and, and chicken breast. So I started making really positive choices. So looking back on it, I will tell people when they come to me that are like, I just need a fix. I've been reading about keto. I want to do it. I will typically always encourage that we start out with a low carb diet first.
What do you consider low? Sorry to interrupt. Just curious.
Low carb, like an example of what I would do for someone who's looking for, kind of the in-between that I'm trying to keep away from keto is I'll say, okay, you'll have a small carb at breakfast, maybe a quarter cup of rice for lunch, and then you can have just your veggies and your proteins for dinner.
So between 50 and 100 grams of carbohydrate is what you would consider a low carb diet?
Probably less than 80.
Less than 80.
Yeah, okay, less than 80. And of course, depends on if it's someone who's 6'4" and 250 pounds.
Of course,
but
yes.
Average person, yeah, I think so. So I will always try to steer towards that, because it is essentially still balanced for you to do, low carb versus keto.
Yeah. Do you have any input as to why, when we say the word carbohydrate, or carb for short, why does everyone immediately think cakes, cookies, ice cream and not think fruits and vegetables? What's going on with that?
I think most of the problem is media-driven everything. I don't know why people put those things together.
Obviously, they're carbs, but if you break it down from a percentage of calories, most of these items have more fat than carbs, actually.
Yeah. And the higher part of that is the sugar side, as opposed to the carb side, because at the end of the day, nobody looks at jasmine rice as junk food,
right?
But they do the cupcake. It's weird.
And they associate both as carbs, which they both have carbs in them.
That's right.
But it's just the bad foods are usually the combination of sugar, which is a carb we can call, but it's the combination of fats and oils that make the crazy. Like, I've read a little bit about the way it feels in your mouth, the way that it breaks down, the way that it makes you want to eat more. Yeah. And for whatever reason, everyone associates that stuff with carbs. Right. But carbs are actually really good for you.
Yeah, they can be.
In the right sources.
That's right.